Yo, it's the L7C here. It's kind of funny, too. Yesterday, some of the L7C members, Byron, Cedric, and myself, we were playing PlayStation. Obviously, Master Duel was down. And I was like, oh, maybe hopefully they're doing this update there, and then we get a ban list on Thursday. And Lord and behold, we do have the ban list. Ban list came out hours ago. It came out, well, I was at work, so couldn't really respond to it in L7C's behalf because I was in the office. But I've seen the ban list, initial reactions, and all of that jazz. You got the Forbidden cards, Protos, Eva, Samorg, and Imperial Order. Then you got the limited cards, Destrudo, Fairy Tale Snow's back, Destrudo's back, Astrograph Sorcerer's back, Lunalight Tiger, Recital Starling, Monster Gate, Pot of Desires. You got the semi-limited A Hero Lives, Fusion Destiny, Nadir Servant, Salman, Great Circle, Scapegoat. Then you got the unlimited Danger Nessie, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Perform Palace Callback Joker, Emergency Teleport Regeki, and Skill Drain. So let's just go back to the Forbidden. So Protos, and which I do have the list up here for y'all so that you could see what Protos does. There's Protos, can be normal summoned, or set must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 monsters. Game destroyed by card effects. You can declare 1 monster attribute on the field, destroy all monsters on the field with that attribute. To the end of the next turn, either player can special summon monsters with that attribute. This came out in Eternity Code 2020. So, and then Eva, some more. So with the Forbidden list, Protos, a lot of people were calling for Protos just because it's a worm and it's used in Sword Souls. If Sword Souls didn't exist, most people wouldn't even know Protos existed, let's be honest. Protos has been out, like I just said, since 2020. We're in 2022. It came out in Eternity Code. No, Eternity Code, which might be the best set, maybe of this generation. No one was thinking about this card until Sword Souls, were worms as well. Had a way to search it out. So it's gone now just because of the Sword Soul engine and being able to search it out. If Sword Soul didn't exist, like I said, this card would still be here. And that's going to be my premise for most of this video. But I get it. I don't think it should have been banned, to be honest. I get why some people did, because Sword Souls having it makes it oppressive, blah, blah. But, I mean, it can't be destroyed by card effects. It can get Effect Veiler. It can get Impermed. Come on now. That's a little soft. Then we go to Eva. Eva honestly banished 2 other Life Fairy monsters. We talked about this the last ban list because it got limited last ban list. So, honestly with that, that's just a Drytrons. That's just knocking down Drytrons a peg. There's nothing really more to say about that. Then you have some Morg, Bird of Sovereignty. That one threw people a lot for a loop. A lot of people weren't expecting. That card can be used as link material. Your opponent can't target this card or wing base this card points to a card effects. You know, the longer you keep it on the field, you get to special the things. Some Morg's also been out, dual overload since 2020. And the reason with Samorg 2, it's interesting because this card was causing no real problems per se. Some people, I mean, the way you have them out, you get the Apex Avion, you get the Barrier Statue that wind, you can't special summon anything but wind monsters. I get that. And obviously with the Flenderies and the Bird Ups, all the different bird, wing beast decks that Konami has made now, taking advantage of this card, they decided to get rid of this card instead of other cards in the archetype, which I don't personally, I've never been a fan of that, but Harpy players, shout out to our L7C My Hero enthusiast, Andrea, you just lost one of your best strategies because of a different deck. Big one, Imperial Order. Everyone was calling for Imperial Order. Negate all spell effects on the field once per turn during the standby phase. You must pay $700. I was going to say $700. 700 life points is not optional, or that card is destroyed. This card's been around for so long. And the way that you've set it, you make your board You go first, make your board, set that, flip that over. Your opponent can't use a Dark Ruler no more on you. And like a Regeki, a Dark Hole, you can't use any spells. It's almost, it's one of those things where if you're making a big board and you know the only way they can break it is Dark Ruler no more, you're going to shut them out completely. I'm fine with it. Everyone was calling for it, so it is what it is with that. Then you go to the limiteds to Strudo's back, which is interesting that he came back. For people who don't know, it's a level 7 tuner. If this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can pay half your life points, target one level 6 or lower monster you control, special summon this card. If you do, this card's level is reduced to the level of the targeted monster. It's a very good play to follow up with synchroing plays. And this was gone around the Needle High-Fibrax / Needle Fiber times. So, I mean, they're giving those cards back. I don't know how much it will do, but someone's going to find a way to make some crazy combos with that. And you got Fairy Tale Snow back, which this card is something. If this card is normal special summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, changing the face-down defense position. This card's in your graveyard, quick effect. Banish 7 monsters, 7 other cards from your hand, feel like grave, special summon this card. This card can get real annoying real quick. People who've never played against it, I've played against it, can get super annoying. So, it being back, it's like, okay. Astrograph Sorcerer. During the main phase, that's the Pendulum effect. Destroy this card, take 1, Stargazer Magician. It's the card text. You can special summon this card from your hand, choose 1 monster in the grave, extra deck. Basically, this is a easy way to get Zark. And this card was gone during the Pendulum era. Now it's back. And also, too, there's Perform Back, Skullback Joker, just spoilers, unlimited now. With these Pendulum cards slowly coming back, we have a Pendulum set that's going to be coming out focusing on Pendulum summoning. So it's all from a marketing standpoint, make Pendulum stronger while giving them their old cards with the new stuff. So, and then Lunalights, they got some good stuff. They got Tiger back. So they are rejoicing with that one. And then also you got Recital, which I was happy. I mean, with the bird stuff, getting that to 1, okay. Is that going to stop the Lyralist? I doubt it, but at least putting that to 1 is something. They try to address things in top decks, but we'll talk about what I think going forward. Monster Gate, Old School's card, tribute 1 monster, excavate the top cards from your deck until you excavate a monster. That can be normal summon or set. Special summon it, send the other cards to the grave. I don't know if anyone's going to do anything crazy with that. We're going to have to see. This was one where a whole bunch of people were shocked. Pot of Desires. Banish 10 cards from the top of your deck. Draw 2 cards. No one saw that coming. And if they told you they saw it coming, they're lying. No one saw that coming. And it's the fact that why did Pot of Desires out of all cards get banned when there's a whole bunch of other pots in the game? So why did that one get banned? It's very interesting on that. A Hero Lives goes from 1 to 2 for the hero players out there. You control no face-up monsters, pay half your life points, special summon a level 4 lower elemental hero. Fusion Destiny, it went from unlimited to 2. Nadir Servant went from unlimited to 2. Solomon Great Circle went from 1 to 2, and Scapegoat went from 1 to 2. I know a lot of people don't like the semi-limited. I do, for a fact that it's a little testing ground for Konami, which I'm okay with that. They're seeing if things can be, if we put it at 2, will it change? And then we just leave it alone forever. Or if it's 2, if it's still a problem, we need to put it 1 or ban. 2, no one's using it. Then we're going to make it 3. Like Solomon Great and Scapegoat, I can see in the next couple ban lists going to 3, which is crazy. I think Scapegoat would be at 3. Nadir Servant, Fusion Destiny will depend on how the rest of the game keeps going. If Fusion Destiny has to go to 1 or be gone, which I don't want it to be gone, and honestly. Same with Nadir Servant. I'd be fine with either of them at 1. I don't want them banned at all. It's also funny how they use these things to show, like, it went from 2 to unlocked. Danger Nessie for the Danger players. You can reveal this card in your hand. Your opponent chooses one random card from their entire hand. Discard the chosen card. Then if they discard a card that was not Nessie, special summon Nessie from your hand. If you do, draw one card. Oh, excuse me. So that is good for them. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, a GOAT card. It did get errated. So going from 1 to 3, I mean, I think that's cool. But it's kind of crazy to think that Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is at 3. But again, it got errated. So it still has the same effect. Like, special summon one dragon monster from your hand or grave, except another Red Eyes Darkness Metal. You can only use the effect of Red Eyes Darkness Metal once per turn. That's the errata stuff. But that's cool, though. We already talked about Skullback Joker, Pendulum's coming back. Emergency Teleport, special summon one level 3 or lower psychic monster from your hand to deck. I mean, that's a good extender for anyone who's using psychic type cards. There's some hand traps that are psychics too, that you can bring some tuners out, tune, synchro. So that's cool. Then these last two were Geki, because I'm an old school player. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we have a card where literally it's completely one-sided for you. It only benefits you. Destroy all monsters your opponent control. Better than Lightning Storm, in my opinion, from the destruction of monster effect. Lightning Storm just has the versatile of choosing. Definitely better than Dark Hole. If you're ever running Dark Hole, you can run 3 Dark Holes, 3 Regekis. In a slower going second deck, you can run 3 Dark Holes, 3 Regekis, 3 Lightning Storms. And no matter how many negates you got, someone's stuff's getting cleared. Then, the big one, besides Imperial Order Skill Drain, activate by paying 1k, negate the effects of all face-up monsters while they are face-up on the field, but their effects can still be activated. That's a random thing. Old school thing used to say you can't do it. So that went from 1 to 3, just like Regeki went from 1 to 3. My biggest thing, obviously, Skill Drain is going to get all the attention, which I think rightfully so, because I want to ask everyone, would you rather have wanted Max C back, or would you rather want Skill Drain at 3? Because when I see with these two, Regeki and Skill Drain, it combats, putting them at 3 does combat the meta, and the fact that everyone's special summoning a whole bunch of monsters. Skill Drain stops all those effects. Most people are using effects to clear boards, lock your opponent out. With Skill Drain, it's just like, nope, you can't do anything. So what are you going to do with your deck if you can't activate effects? So just think about the fact that like Skill Drain negates your opponent's, negates everything on the board, hit them with a Regeki, all their monsters are gone. I don't think anyone's talking about that combination right there that people could do, like a Skill Drain into a Regeki. Their monsters are gone, especially if you're playing a deck. I mean, we already talked about it. Eldritch is going to soar with 3 Skill Drain. Any anti-meta deck is going to soar with 3 Skill Drains. Shoot, a burn deck, if a burn deck comes in, they could soar with a Skill Drain. So with that being in 3, that's kind of crazy. So they took away, you got the Imperial Order off that people wanted, and then they gave 3 Skill Drain. So I don't know how the community is going to feel about that. Now my gripes with this ban list is what I always talk about too, that it's never, cards can be out for years, but until an archetype is made that can abuse them, then they're a problem. Literally, Protoss, Samorg, they've been out for years, haven't caused any issues, but then when you have meta decks and meta players who find cards to abuse, then they get banned. Which I've always had a problem with that. If you're going to ban stuff from the meta players, ban the stuff in their deck. Don't ban other cards that other decks could utilize. Also, it's still kind of crazy how Heavy Storm is still banned. That's another one. Why is Heavy Storm banned and now we're at Regeki at 3? With Skill Drain at 3, guys, if you're playing, you better have some spell and trap removal in your extra deck or main decking it. Because I could tell right now most of the players, their decks are 90% monster and maybe 10% spell, or maybe 9% spell, 1% trap. If someone flips that Skill Drain on you, you're going to lose if you have no spell and trap removal. So that's something that you need to be careful for right now. So that's why I thought if they were going to bring Skill Drain back, they should have brought back Heavy Storm. Also, Mystic Mine is not on this list, so now you can have Mystic Mine and Skill Drain as a backup. That's kind of crazy. Another thing that's not on, let's just talk about it. Verte Anaconda is not on this list. So here was my main problem with that too. They got some Morgue, but they didn't ban Verte Anaconda. And I saw something that our Captain Byron said from Dual Logs. They do a great job having this like thing explaining, oh, some Morgue floodgates, which is true. But Anaconda gets you direct access to Red Eyes Fusion and Fusion Destiny. But that card is not banned. They limited Fusion Destiny to Red Eyes Fusion still 3, Dragoon's around, and DPE still around. But Anaconda is not gone, which I strongly disagree against. If you're trying to get rid of these floodgate monsters, Red Eye is, I mean, Anaconda is one of the biggest floodgate type things. It gets you one of the best, some of the best fusion monsters in the game. And for it not even to be looked at to be put at 1 or 2 just for the community, but to leave it at 3 is just mind-blowing. Byron said himself that it wasn't going to get banned. I just couldn't believe him. He was right. So I don't know who at Konami has dirt on people who want to ban Anaconda, and they just won't let it happen, because it's ridiculous that some more got banned, but Anaconda didn't. That's kind of... and also, the dragons need to come off the list. Like, the dragons, they need to come off the list. They really do. Max C. People playing Master Duel, we have 3 Max C in that. Max C is still forbidden. I'm still on the effect it needs to come back at least at 1. If your main purpose is if you're going to keep making decks that could swarm, lock people out, have multiple negates, you have to have counter cards to punish those things. You got Skill Drain back at 3. You got Regeki back at 3. Bring everything that can give those players who can't, one, afford those decks, because let's be honest, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not cheap. And those people buying those top tier decks have the money, or they're doing this for a living. Let's just be honest. Give the people who can't afford those decks and want to play their second tier, third tier, whatever fun tier deck a chance. And I think it does it a lot with Skill Drain, it does a lot with Regeki, but it should have done it with Maxi. Maxi should have come back at least at 1. And here's the thing, too. You could bring it back at 1. If it's causing chaos, you just ban it again. Literally. There's no problem with bringing it back to then take it off. The jars can come back, too. They should have came back, but I don't know. And also the fact, too, that this list took forever to come out. It was supposed to come out on the 17th, and here we are on the 27th. That's like 10 days from when it was supposed to come out. And the next update after this will be no earlier than a few months from now. So what I'm thinking is it probably won't come out until Megatins, depending on what reprints are in the Megatins. So there's the list right now. Imperial Order, Protoss, Ava, Samorg, rest in peace. Don't know if you guys will ever come back. Destruda, Fairy Tail Snow, Astrograph, Pendulums are about to get up, man. They're about to be up. Pot of Desire is still the biggest WTF of this. Semi-limited. Salaman Great's made out pretty good. Hero Lives. Heroes made out pretty good. Heroes escaped out because they could have lost this, and then that's gone to DPE. And then Skill Drain, the biggest show of this forbidden list. This also takes effect February 7th. I think there's a regional this weekend and next weekend. So then February 7th, the first Monday of February, because February starts next week on February 1st, but that's a Tuesday, so we have the 31st in January. So the first Monday of February, the new ban list starts, and we're going to have it for a bit. So that's all we have on the ban list. Let us know what you guys think about the ban list. My biggest thing with ban list is that other decks suffer because meta decks abuse and use other cards, and then we have this. Then you have the people on YouTube talking about why a deck sucks because the only card that made them competitive got banned, and it wasn't even their fault; it was someone else's fault. That's why I've always had a problem with Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's why I would wish. I honestly would want to just interview one person on the decision making of the ban list and who makes those choices. That's something I'd always want to do. So if you know who makes anyone from the low to the top, let them talk to the L7C and we interview him. Thank you everyone for watching this Banlist video. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe, give us thoughts. Give more thoughts in the Discord. And yeah, everyone take care.